Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another office hours for the FastStore beta. My name is Victor, and I'm a software engineer here at VTEX, and I'm currently working on the FastStore team. And today, I'll also be your host for the office hours. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, awesome. So, our first section for today is the announcement section. And in this section, we'll be bringing you the latest news from the team to keep you up to date with what we've been working on, some cool events that might be coming up, or just ask for some feedback. Okay. And today we only have one announcement, but it's a pretty nice one. And it's about VTEX headless CMS previews. And they are now private. And to tell you a bit more about that, Cesar is here. Hey, Cesar.
Hello, Victor. Hello, everyone. My name is Cesar. I'm a software engineer at WebOps. And this week, at the beginning of this week, we made so that every CMS preview is now private by default. We previously had this feature, but you had to manually enable it. But now all CMS previews are by default private, and if you need to, you can make them public for any reason. So now when you go to, and remember, this is CMS preview, not the deploy preview you see at your pull request. So now when you go through the admin and you click view preview, you will need to be authenticated, and you'll probably already be authenticated because you are in the admin of your store. But everyone that tries accessing this URL directly through the browser will need to authenticate to the VTEX account that backs this FastStore account. The account is the one that is specified in your vtex.env file, or alternatively, the store.config.js file for FastStore version 1.x. And that's basically it. The access required to see the preview is the same that you would need to access, for instance, the account.myvtex.com. So it's basically if you need to add this permission to someone, it's the permission to see the admin. The person does not need permission to change anything in the admin, just to see the admin. And that's almost it. You will need to do one thing for your preview to work with this feature, and that is to install the vtex.faststore/off app in the account that backs that store. If you need to disable this feature, there is a line you can add to your vtex.env file, and that is use CMS preview of all caps equals false, and that will disable the privateness of your CMS deploy preview. And in this case, you do not need to install the app. You might need to do this if you want, for instance, to run page speed insights on the CMS preview, but I don't think you should because it's a different kind of preview than the one that runs in production. So every time you want to run page speed insights, you should run in production. But if for any other reason you need some third-party access for this preview, you might want to disable it. And that's basically it, Miranda.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. It's always good to see some more privacy features. So that's awesome. That's great. And it appears to be very easy to set up as well, right? So awesome. I hope everyone will be using it.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Sally.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya. All right. So that's what we had. That's what we had for you in terms of announcements today. I said that we only had one. Last week we had a bunch, but well, to be up to date and always get to know these things a bit faster, even than when we bring them to the office hours, you can just keep up to date by checking out faststore.dev/releases. And by the way, like what Cesar just said is also written in a more kind of a documentation format, and you can see that on this link here as well. Okay, awesome. So let's go to our next section. This one is the Ask the Community section. And this section is, well, all about you. It's all about our developer community. This is where we bring some of our questions that you left for us at VTEX Community. We bring them here to the office hours so that we can give more in-depth answers, sometimes even like demo a few things, and just to make things clear, and also to make sure that more people see your questions and what's the answer for them. Okay, awesome. So the first one that we have today is it's one that probably a lot of you have been wondering, is how to actually migrate a store from Gatsby to Next. And well, does this store migration from Gatsby to Next? Do you need to do something in the web ops? Do you need to change anything? And well, I'm happy to kind of announce that no, you don't need to do pretty much anything from the web ops side. Um, it's pretty simple. Like if you just make sure that you're not you trying to use Gatsby and Next at the same time. But basically, like what you need to migrate is just on your store. Like you don't need to worry about web ops. Just go into your store and like do the migration, right? We have an awesome PR by Jimenez that he left kind of as a reference in like the old base store repo, and this PR is exactly that. Like it takes our base store and like migrates it from Gatsby to Next.js. Okay, so this could be useful for all of you to reference as like, okay, what do I actually need to change from when I'm going from Gatsby to Next.js? Just notice that this is migrating the base store after we've migrated from Gatsby 3 to Gatsby 4. So if you're migrating from Gatsby 4 to Next.js, it's going to be easier, right? Because, well, you're probably already using SSR. So it makes things a bit easier. From Gatsby 3 to Next, you might run into a bit of trouble, and it's kind of a bigger change in how your pages are served and everything. So it might be a bit trickier. But anyway, you can use this as a reference. And just one thing to notice, this is not a simple migration, right? Like this is kind of big. If you look here, like you can see that file changes is 126. So you're pretty much like rebuilding your store, right? It's almost not a migration. You're kind of like just rebuilding everything. Okay, but well, to sum up the question, no, you don't need to do anything on web ops. You can just open a branch and well change a bunch of stuff, and just make sure to remove Gatsby from your dependencies so that we don't try to run Gatsby and Next at the same time. Uh, and there you go. You can just start using Next.js. Okay?
Can I add something, Miranda?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe an idea, like you said, in some cases, it's a lot more to change to switch from Gatsby to Next rather than to start fresh from Next and then start adding your customizations. So maybe a different path would be to open a branch in your store and then just like remove all the code, add the code from the Next.js store, and then start working on that branch with your customizations. I don't know. Maybe that's a path that would make it easier for some stores.
Yeah. That's a great idea. And now that we have the Next.js.store, like you already have a good starting point as well, right?
Yeah.
You can start there and then bring stuff over. Right? So
it's all a
great.
bunch of GitHub work and source code
Yeah.
management, but in the end, you have a good starting point, which is the Next.js store. So that's awesome.
Yeah. But that's great. That's a great idea. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, George. That's all for me. Thanks, Homu, for the question. And let's move on. All right, awesome. So the next question that we have, this one is in Portuguese. So sorry everyone, but we will be translating as we go. But basically, what Jose was trying to do is using components from FastStore UI into the new base store, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. He was trying to use the components in the base store. And funny is here, it's actually her first appearance in the office hours. She's here to answer this question with us. Hey.
Hey, hi guys. So, well, Joselle asked if after the updates from our starters, if we still can use the components from the FastStore UI. And he tried to import the carousel, but he knew that it comes without the CSS, so he tried to import the Tailwind, and he said that the store is broken because of that. I will answer the first question first. Well, I think he tried to install the Tailwind theme that we suggest on our documentation previously, and it was a little outdated. So I guess what happened is because using that theme, our current base store will broken the style. I mean, because we are introducing new tokens for the style. So yes, you still can use the components from the FastStore UI in using Tailwind if you are not using our base store. And if you wanted to use on the base store, I think actually we already updated our documentation because we have previously suggested you to use the theme, the Tailwind theme, but it's not working very well with our current style form. Yes, we are not. So why you can, because it's overridden some of our styles. So what you can do, actually I left here an example of what you can do so you can achieve our current example of this carousel. So for the first question, I guess it is it. I'm not sure if you use this theme, but I guess you did, so let me know if that helps. And for the second question, this is about the Next.js starter, if we can use the headless CMS with it. Well, currently don't have like a repo like Store Framework Store that it's just already ready, so you can use it. But we're probably working on that. Yeah, that is it.
Awesome, great. Thanks. Well, thanks for the very detailed answer. I hope that he gets like things working. But that's awesome. That's awesome. And also, congrats on your first time being here at the office hours. It was great. Thank you a lot for coming.
Thank you.
Awesome. So see you later. Uh, okay, awesome. So let's move on. The next question is about creating a GraphQL query, right? That can list categories and subcategories, and the question is from Brandon. So thanks for the question. And who is here to help us answering that is Daniel. Hey, oh, you're muted.
Hello, Victor. Hello, folks. It's my second time here, and
Awesome.
what Brandon is asking is that he made a query in one of his components, and he got his error that is multiple root queries found, store collection, and store collection. The problem here is that, as we can see at the static query documentation from the Gatsby framework, is that when you are building components that are being used in parts of the page, like the navbar, that are used in multiple pages, like the navbar, the header, you can make only one request for the GraphQL. That happens because at Gatsby we use several static sites generator. So GraphQL will build the pages in the build, will create these pages, this HTML in the build time. So it makes only one request to the GraphQL. So the solution for this problem, when you have multiple components using only multiple components using queries, is to put the query into a ancestor page and make only one request. This way, you you will you avoid having this multiple root queries found. The Gatsby documentation gives an example here. You can have you can make you use a static queries, and you can put any an amount of endpoints you want to, an amount of fields you want here. So he can actually he makes the sample here. You make just one query and add all the fields you want into the same query, so it makes only one request. And I think that's it for this question.
Awesome. This next one is also yours, right? So
Yeah. The second question I will answer, it's from Larissa, and she was trying to grab the ID of the logged user. And to make this, we have at FastStore, we have this package SDK source session package. And inside it, we have the provider of the session and the hook use session. So to grab the user information, you need to put the session provider, as we do here, like this, into an ancestor of the component you are trying to get the information. And at the component, you can just use the hook you provide, use a session to get the user. And inside this user attribute, we have the ID, the email, given name, and family name of the user. And you can see that at the code of the session provider here, session provider.tsx, we can see all attributes that we can use from our session: user, postal code, channel, country. And here we can see every attribute that we have inside the user attribute: ID, email, given name, and family name. So whenever you need to use something from the session, you can grab it from this session provider we have on the FastStore. So I think that's it.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks a lot, Daniel. Thanks for coming here and answering again. So it's great to see you in the office hours back. Hope to see you many more times.
Yeah, maybe I'll be here next week as well. Bye.
Awesome. Bye. Thanks. Okay. So I think we had a question from the chat. I don't know if we're taking it right now. Okay, awesome. So this is from Lucas. Are there any stores in production using the FastStore framework? Can anyone link one of them if true? Yes, we do. We do have some stores in production, and we have quite a few in development. Off the top of my head, the ones that are live and in production right now that you can check are Marim Brazil. We also have Avon, which is kind of big, and we have Carrefour. We actually have Carrefour is like a split. Yes, like the Carrefour Mercado one is with FastStore, and then there is the Carrefour Shopping, which like you can buy a bunch of different things. That one is using Store Framework, so you can even see like kind of the difference. So yeah, off the top of my head, I can't remember these ones, but we have quite a few in development. I don't know the exact number, but trust me, quite a few. All right, so yes, we do. You can check them out and see like what people have been able to do so far. Okay. Awesome. So that's what we have for you. As far as questions go. Thanks so much to Funny and Daniel for coming here to answer them in detail, and thank you for sending your questions on VTEX Community. Now, just a quick reminder: when you're creating your questions on VTEX Community, please don't forget to add the office hours tag, so that we know that like you want us to bring your questions here and show it to everyone. And it also makes our life a bit easier, right? Because when we're selecting the questions, we can just filter for office hours and then bring them here. Also another invite for like try try to post more questions in English. That's because sometimes because since we're testing, like doing the event every week in English, we will be bringing questions every week, and it's easier if we get them in English already. Okay, so there you go. And all right, we move on to the next question, to the next session of the office hours. This is the final session, and it's the demo time. I really love this one, but yeah, this week we don't have any demos. But this is a great opportunity for you guys to also come here and fit and present your own demos, right? As I said, I know there are a bunch of stores in development currently. So if you developed something nice, or like if you just went live with a new store, or if you have anything that you want to show everyone here in this space, like this. We do this event for you, right? For the community. So feel free to go to community.vtex.com/office hours beta and submit your demos. We would love to have you here. And yeah, that's it. I hope to see some more demos from you in the next coming weeks. Okay. So that's what we had for you today. Hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.